Alright, let's dive into something that's been buzzing in the NBA world lately. Here's the deal. The Celtics might not be the title favorites this season, but there's a fascinating angle here that a lot of people are sleeping on. Personally, I think the narrative around them is missing a huge piece of the puzzle. What makes this really interesting is that while everyone's busy writing them off as playoff contenders, there's a strong case to be made that they still have the highest regular season floor in the East. Let me explain why this matters and why it's not just a consolation prize. First off, let's talk about the Eastern Conference landscape. If you take a step back and think about it, the East is more volatile than ever. The Knicks are the obvious favorites, but even they have question marks after last season's deep run. A championship hangover is a real thing, and it's not like they're untouchable. Then you've got the 76ers, who could be great if everything clicks. But what many people don't realize is how much of a gamble that if really is. The Pacers? Talented, but Tyrese Halliburton's health is a wild card. The Raptors? Hypothetical until proven otherwise. And don't even get me started on the Pistons and Cavaliers. Both took steps back this offseason. So, when you look at the East, it's a lot of potential, but not a lot of certainty. Now, let's talk about the Celtics. One thing that immediately stands out is their consistency in the regular season. Joe Mazzulla's system is like a well-oiled machine. Last year, they were supposed to tank, and instead, they won 56 games. That's not just luck, that's a culture and a system that works. This season, they've got Jason Tatum leading the charge, and while the Jaylen Brown trade was a shocker, adding Paul George, Mitchell Robinson, and Mike Conley, that's not a downgrade. In my opinion, this team is built to grind out wins, especially in the regular season. Mazzulla's possession-maxing style ensures they'll be efficient on both ends of the floor, and with 10 returning players, the chemistry is already there. What this really suggests is that the Celtics are the safest bet in the East to finish with a top 4 seed. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. The regular season is one thing, but the playoffs? That's a different beast. The Celtics' real test will come in the postseason, and that's where the doubts creep in. Losing to the Sixers in round 1 last year and trading Brown has left a sour taste in a lot of mouths. From my perspective, though, that's where the narrative gets flipped. The regular season is about consistency, depth, and execution, all things the Celtics excel at. The playoffs are about star power, clutch moments, and a bit of luck. So, while they might not be playoff favorites, their regular season dominance shouldn't be overlooked. It's almost like they've cracked the code for the 82-game marathon. What makes this really fascinating is how it connects to a bigger trend in the NBA. Teams are increasingly prioritizing regular season success as a foundation for playoff runs. The Celtics are a prime example of this. They're not trying to be flashy or make headlines, they're just winning games. And in a conference as unpredictable as the East, that's a strategy that could pay off in ways people aren't expecting. A detail I find fascinating is how Mazzulla's approach contrasts with other coaches. He's not worried about expectations or narratives. He's focused on maximizing what he has. That mindset is rare, and it's a big reason why the Celtics are so reliable. So, here's my takeaway. The Celtics might not be the sexiest pick for the playoffs, but they're the team you can count on to show up night after night in the regular season. This raises a deeper question. In a league that's obsessed with playoff glory, are we undervaluing the teams that dominate the regular season? Personally, I think we are. The Celtics' ability to consistently win games, regardless of who's on the court, is a skill that shouldn't be taken for granted. And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, that consistency will translate into something more when the playoffs roll around. But for now, one thing's clear. In the East, the Celtics are the regular season kings, and that's a title worth respecting.